All right, well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. I am Mary Beth Fitzpatrick, the very proud superintendent of Royal Oak Schools, and it's my pleasure to be with you tonight to talk about some of our accomplishments from the last year and to talk with you about a very exciting product that we have worked on for more than a year now, and that is our strategic plan, and then share some ways that that strategic plan is weaving into our day-to-day work to guide us as a school district. I remain very proud of our school district and all of the work that we do, both in our achievements and in our ability to solve problems as they present themselves. To the very best of our ability, all of our staff members, our administrators, our Board of Education, and our community partners work together to make sure that our school year for 23-24 is off to a wonderful start and remains there throughout the year. This is now my 7th year as the leader of Royal Oak Schools, and I couldn't be more grateful to work in a community with so many partners, including our board, our parents, our staff, our students, our business groups, and all of our students. I've shared many times in Royal Oak Schools that we are at the heart of this community. We share our strengths and our supports, we engage with each other, and we collaborate on a regular basis, and each one of these components are essential for student success, which is our core mission here. Tonight, I'm going to share that process and outcomes of our coordinating work in enhancing our long-range plan. Many of the groups sitting in the room tonight were a part of that plan. We did a survey across the district to find out how many of our parents throughout the process were aware of that plan and how many of them took part in our thought exchange, our surveys, our community discussions. And we hope that through this plan, we will continue to refer back to it throughout the year in our work so that we not only keep the plan at the forefront of our work, but we also refer back to all of the hard work and planning that went into it. Included tonight will be some facts about our district, including enrollment, our staffing, our funding, and then those key initiatives that will fall under the strategic plan. We will take a close look at our demographics, the state of our funding, both from the state of Michigan and locally, the state of our facilities, where we are in staffing, and of course, our students. They still remain the focus while teaching and learning takes place every single day. So as I said, our long-range plan started just about a year ago. In fact, watching the 2022 State of the Schools address, I did mention that we would be starting the process. So in the course of 1 year, we have had multiple layers of input, discussions, and supportive groups, including community members, parents, staff, students, administrators, and our Board of Education. And we used a variety of tools, meetings, surveys, face-to-face visits. I've gone out on many occasions to our schools to talk to our staff, engaged with students, and then in an age-appropriate level, we worked with our children. So some of our student leadership groups in the elementary schools and the middle schools talked to their peers, held surveys, voted, and had discussions and roundtables to share their input with me over time. And we've also reached out to our entire Royal Oak community on multiple occasions. Many of us in the administrative team and our staff are also members of key community groups. We often talked about our long-range plan and took input from those that were willing to share. At the end of the process, we did land on some very final agreements. First, our work would yield a strategic plan for Royal Oak Schools called Continuing Excellence. We set it at a goal of 5 years. That doesn't mean that we won't look at it for 5 years. It also does not mean that we're putting it on a shelf for 5 years. We will develop a 1-pager summary, and there are copies available at the back of the room tonight, and we're going to make that available on our webpage. We will also make sure that the full version of our work and the details behind it will be posted, including regular updates to our community through Board of Education meetings and to our community. We will often refer to this strategic plan when communicating district decisions and when we're talking about our work on a day-to-day basis. We will also develop a glossary of terms. We heard over time that in education we use a lot of letters and acronyms, and we want to make sure that everyone is aware of what those mean and how important they are to all of us. Our vision, a community of excellence. This should be familiar to you. This is not new. It's a part of our logo, and in fact, when I came to the district, this was already established. Through our work with our strategic planning group, we did agree that this remains our vision, a community of excellence. Our mission, Royal Oak Schools is an inclusive, diverse, safe, and student-first environment. Together as a community, we help develop growth-minded students who can adapt in a dynamic world as they learn. Many of the words in that statement were key words that resonated throughout our entire process. We felt that we wanted to make sure we were in a learning environment, and that was reflected in this statement. And we also talked about all of the key things that are very important to us as a school district. This is the one-pager that we will refer to. We took all of our work. A community of excellence stands out as our vision statement. Our mission statement is there. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a green box. That's where we talk about the process, just so that if someone picks up only the sheet, they'll have a good indication of what we did to get to this point. And we created 4 key goals, and these are 4 goals that were also a part of the district's strategic plan when I joined the district. Goal 1, the stack of books, committed to fostering an impactful learning community where students will be embraced, accepted, challenged, and prepared. This is goal 1, curriculum and instruction. Goal 2, reaching out to the partners, strengthen and expand school community connections that are crucial to both the success of the school district and to our community. Our students can be of service in this community, and our public spaces, our community, the City of Royal Oak, all of the partners, they also contribute greatly throughout our school year. We could not do the work in our school district without all of them. Optimize the use of all financial and physical resources. The district funds will be used to optimize those resources and to optimize the things that our students can access, as well as our property and facilities. We're at the heart of this community, as I said before, and we want to stay proud in this community. Our schools expand across this entire community, so it's important to us that we're good neighbors. And finally, attract and retain the best staff. We want to make sure that we're an optimal workplace environment and that both a diverse pool of potential employees are sought on a regular basis, and we also meet the needs of our current employees so that they want to stay here long term. Workers, the workforce in general across our state and our country have choices. People are making choices with work and life balance. We want them to stay here. We want our staff to stay here. And so as important as it is to find the key people to work in our district, we also want those that are here to want to stay here. Goal 1, committed to fostering the impactful learning community. We know that students learn best when they are engaged in authentic learning experiences. This may be field trips. This may be engaging in real world experiences for our students. So beyond the books, beyond the whiteboard and all the technology. We also know that students benefit from timely and meaningful feedback. It's not just report cards. It's not just letter grades. We talk about formative assessments, feedback to students about how they're progressing, how they're thinking, and how their work is going, and that needs to continue on a regular basis. Also in Goal 1, students will demonstrate readiness for what is next in their learning continuum. Students not only need to know what they've learned, they need to talk about why they're learning it and then understand where they're headed. We've all had the question posed to us, why do I need to learn this? We want to make sure that our learning is within a context and that our children know that as well. In Goal 2, strengthening our school partnerships, this is where Royal Oak excels. I'm so proud to be, again, a part of a community where these student experiences are enhanced by the partners that we have in this community. So we not only want to maintain those partnerships, we want to grow them. We want to expand the services that are provided to our students and our staff here, and we also want our students to be a vital part of this community in Royal Oak. They'll grow beyond the borders of the city. They'll go to other places in the state and across the world, and we want to make sure they're well prepared for that. We also want to make sure that our district systems are ready to take care of that expanding collaboration that we have. Many partners in this room, I know, get calls from multiple people within the district reaching out. So we want to use things like the Interclub Council, like the partnerships through PTA and our other organizations to make sure that those are organized and that they're well tracked. Goal 3, looking at our district funds, maximizing those funds. We do a great job here. We just came away from a very clean audit with Yo and Yo. We do that publicly every single year. It's not about getting ready for the audit. It's about doing the right thing every day across the entire district. And we know that that happens with our practices and our protocols. And we were very happy to see that unmodified opinion, which in letter grade talk is an A+ for your budget. We also know that our property and our facilities mean a lot to this community. We also need to meet the changing needs of our families and our students. So we want to be ready with our finances and through other public initiatives to meet those needs, to change them, to grow them as needed. Goal 4 is a focus on our best asset, the human resources here in the district. We need to continue to work with the universities through partnerships to recruit and retain those best teachers coming out of school. I'll show some slides in just a few moments about the makeup of our staff, and we know that the vast majority of them coming to us already have experience in other districts. But if we're going to grow teachers for this state and for this country, we need to establish very close relationships with the universities and the other programs beyond high school. We also want to be able to offer some things to our own staff, and you'll see in just a moment again some key initiatives that we're going to put forth to that effort. So first, just a little bit about us to remind you. We employ a little over 650 employees here in the district. We're led by a magnificent Board of Education, well represented this evening, 7 elected volunteers from our community who help to serve, guide, and advise the district and me. I also welcome our fellow administrators, both here at the district level and from our buildings here tonight, our teachers, our paraprofessionals, our secretaries, our support staff, maintenance, transportation, all play a vital role every single day. We have business partners, including ABM for custodial and maintenance, Durham Transportation for our special education students and field trips, Chartwell's Food Service, Oakland Schools Technology Services, they supply all of the tech support for our entire district. Safe Ed, those are our adults, friendly faces in the yellow shirts that work at our middle school and our high school to help our students in the hallways each day and also greet our visitors as they come in the building, part of our school safety plan. And our Edu staff, which is a group that works with many of our part-time staff and our substitute teachers. Our budget still reflects some extra funding for post-COVID responses. And so those social emotional needs, the specific programs are all enhanced to support the learning, and it is put to work every day by these 650 dedicated folks. We have just about 5,000 students in the district. That's very stable. Our enrollment has remained there over time. Our budget is a little higher than normal, about $72 million. Right now, we still have a number of COVID funds in that budget that we are spending down. They do have a sunset, and we are tracking those very closely to make sure that the programs and initiatives are supported by the funding and that many of those can be sustained after that funding runs out. We are one of 28 Oakland County public districts and well supported by Oakland Schools, our ISD. Many of the supports, as I said, for our technology as well as our professional development and other consultation comes from Oakland Schools. Our elementary schools, big shout out to Adams, Keller, Northwood, Oakland, Oak Ridge, and Upton. Again, they are placed strategically across the entire city of Royal Oak to support the neighborhoods. We have a community education program, Adams Early Childhood Center, and also an adult education program that's out of this building here at Churchill. Our high schools, Royal Oak High School and Churchill Community High School. We have an adult transitions program for students with special needs, ages 18 through 26, also in this building. And our middle school, all of our students, grades 6 through 8, under the same roof at Royal Oak Middle School. We have close to 400 children in kindergarten, a little bit over with developmental kindergarten. We were able to open 1 developmental kindergarten at each of the 6 elementary schools this year. That's a demand from our community. That's a program that we run based on demand, and we're very pleased to know that we can offer DK at each one of our schools to meet the youngest learners. Latchkey is a very popular and a very important service that we provide to our community. As quickly as we can hire new staff, we do, and we take others off the wait list. But we also depend on places like the Metro Detroit Youth Club and the Salvation Army and other programs from the YMCA to help support after-school programming for our students and families. And I'm going to talk a little bit about a new initiative that we're starting for that. Just some program highlights. We do have 3 international baccalaureate programs, the primary years program over at Keller, the middle years program at Royal Oak Middle School, and of course the IB and diploma program through Royal Oak High School, 13 advanced placement courses and over 31 diploma courses. We have accelerated college for those students who want to start college early while they're high school students. We have a great relationship with our tech campuses through Royal Oak to go over to the southeast campus of OTEC. We have over 40 high school and 25 middle school clubs and activities. We want our students to take advantage of the life outside the classroom and become more involved in their school. Athletics, student leadership, diversity club, drama, robotics, the list goes on, because we know that we need to educate the whole student. And the students that are more active and engaged are more active and engaged learners in the classroom. So, tying it back to our strategic plan, the key strategies under Goal 1, materials and resources to support our curriculum. We will have a focus area this year of K-5, which is our elementary programming for ELA, English Language Arts. We're going to enhance our resources K-12 to make sure they're differentiated, diverse, and inclusive. We are developing a free after-school and summer program that's using some of those grant funds that we have, and those will be enrichment programs that parents can sign their children up for after school, again, free of charge. And we're also expanding career-focused education and career and technical ed experiences for all students. It's no longer a program that you think about when you're a junior in high school. We want our students exposed to careers and opportunities in the world as early as kindergarten. We have developed a new district ELA leadership team. Many of our staff, some in this room, under the leadership of our curriculum department, will be engaging in an in-depth look at our English language arts materials and practices across the district. Another key strategy for Goal 1 is intentional and regular professional development. This also ties back to our goal to retain the best staff. We want them to have the best training. In August, we had Launch into Learning. We had 70 sessions presented by staff to other staff. It was an overwhelming experience. It was very positive. And to quote some of our staff members, it was one of the best kickoffs and starts to the school year they remember in their career. And that just says something for the planning of all of our folks in this room who did that. We have protected and still utilize late start Wednesdays. We take time each of the Wednesdays, or most Wednesdays of the year, to have our students have a delayed start so that our staff can gather. We have a focus this year of trauma-informed leadership. So we really know that the past several years have been traumatic, but there's also just real-life challenges that have hit our families and our children and our staff. You have to be ready as a staff member to greet those children every day, and we also know that our families need support. So we have a focus on that this year. We're building the capacity by training our own staff. So I was a part of one of the first cohorts, and in turn, our staff are now trained to be those trainers. We have a core set of DEI professional development, so diversity, equity, and inclusion, professional development for all staff. So when you join Royal Oak Schools, you will be a part of this core competency. Each new staff member will be engaged in those professional development experiences so that you know exactly where we stand on those issues and what learning supports the classroom. And then, of course, we always take part through Oakland Schools in specialized professional development. Again, the invaluable community partnerships that I spoke of, our Royal Oak Schools Foundation supplies scholarships. Each year, the project committee supports a specialized project. Last year, we were able to purchase books for each one of our schools, and we're very grateful for that. After COVID, many of those library books did not make their way back to our libraries, and so the foundation was able to give us a good start back to those shelves. We also know that we had a great event this year with our PTSA, ROMPA, and PAC, our Parents with Students of Special Needs, at a community kickoff experience over at ROMS. And again, our opening day, the room was full of community partners greeting our teachers. Our Royal Oak Schools Foundation also is looking ahead to a new project for this year, and we should have details of that coming out soon. Our other community partners will be featured in each of the staff back-to-school events, like the one we had in August or others throughout the year. We also encourage our staff to be participants in their community. Shop here, eat here, go out into the community and volunteer here, even if you don't live here, because you're an important part of the community. We are supporting grant initiatives, working with the City of Royal Oak. And we also know that we want to establish a stronger relationship with the senior citizens of Royal Oak. This has been a goal for us, and we want to make sure that we have efforts toward that. For those that are listening or maybe in the room, we do have a free gold card. That gold card will get you into any one of the events that we put on here in the district, both performances and athletics, for free. So you can stop by our office to pick up your gold card. And we want to organize the database that I spoke of and make sure that all of this enhances our student engagement experiences. We have over 200 bags of food each week that go out through Blessings in a Backpack to our students of need to make sure that on weekends and holidays they have food for their homes. And our Royal Oak Youth Assistance is sponsoring the second step They sponsor scholarships and also financial assistance to families. So again, more about our partners. So shifting gears a little bit, how do we do all of this? So this pie chart represents the funding sources for us, how our income comes into the district. About 33% is generated locally. The bulk of it, 54%, comes from the state of Michigan. About 5% through specialized grants comes from the federal government. And then we also have some other incoming transfers that come in for specialized programs. With that, for those of you that may not know, we are funded on a per pupil basis. So I was asked the other day, how important is count day? Well, count day is as important as any other day of the school year, but count day means it's when we take attendance in the school and track the total number of children being educated in our district, as do all the districts across the state of Michigan. So this is a pie chart of how we gain our money. Proposal A, which is the obligation at about $5,141 per pupil. The non-homestead tax generated at $4,393 per pupil, and about $589 that comes from a hold harmless millage. Altogether, we are able to take in about $10,123 per pupil in Royal Oak schools, times about 5,000 students within our district, and add on our grant money, and that establishes the budget we have to work with each year. But what do we do with those funds? Benefits and salaries of this pie chart, that's the main way that we spend our money in the district. It's to maintain the services and support the staff members that work here. And this includes all of our staffing costs, matching contracts for transportation, custodial maintenance, et cetera, as noted. Very little goes out to supplies, very little out to capital outlay, which is why when we want to make investments in our buildings, we need things like bonds and sinking fund and the support of this community. Again, we are a very, very lucky district in that we have the support of our community for the initiatives when we do go out and ask for those. The purchase services have to do with those independent contracts I spoke of for the additional services. But by and large, we invest in the people who do the work here, which just leads back to those relationships that we put together in our district and that we are so fortunate to have. Goal 3, that's the strategy regarding our funds. We will continue to spend down the COVID relief money that we have. The free after-school program that I spoke of earlier is being called Beyond the Bell. I have that right, I think. And we're going to be launching that with our parents, and again, making connections with other community partners to offer things in STEM and science, exploration, physical activity, and art, bringing that into the district so that our students can stay after school and participate in those using those grant funds. We will spend some of the money on continued safety measures and training in the district, and we also are working on the enhanced social and emotional supports. We're very pleased to know that in the state of Michigan, we have free breakfast and lunch for all students this year, regardless of your financial status. Participation in our food service program is way up. We know that. So the students are taking advantage of it. And again, we're very grateful that the state of Michigan was able to put this in their budget for us this year. And then, of course, there's still specialized funding from the state for special needs students, for students at risk. And we're very pleased to see that, again, our legislature approved that budget. Looking at our district facilities, we always want to maintain the brick and mortar. We want to make sure that it's preserved for students to come and families to come in Royal Oak. We're at the very tail end of the bond from 2017. That was the first year I was hired here. We have a few projects left. We'll be remodeling and restoring the Keller and Adams elementary kitchens. For those that are longtime Royal Oakers, you'll know that those are formal middle schools and junior highs, and it's about time that the kitchens reflect an elementary school. So we'll be putting those changes in place next summer. In terms of our safety measures, we've added additional locking mechanisms, things to our doors to make it a more safe environment. We've added walkie-talkies and enhanced our two-way communication for parts of our safety plan. We are evaluating select athletic areas. There are some that were not serviced by the bond work originally, and we want to make sure that those get the time and attention that they need. And we're also conducting a traffic study around Royal Oak Middle School, which I think would please some parents. It is a walkable district, but we do drive a number of students to and from that school every day, and we want to make sure we're doing that most effectively. Our new hires, this is just a reflection of those that have been hired since May of 23. 50 new teachers, including all of the ancillary staff in occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech and language pathologists, our paraprofessionals, school social workers, counselors, administrators, office secretaries, benefits coordinators, and our accountant here. They all support the work that we do. But in terms of those that we've hired, this is a very interesting pie chart that over my career has shifted quite a bit. First of all, in Royal Oak Schools, roughly 50% of the employees that work today have been hired in the last 5 years. But the note at the bottom is important. This data represents teachers' years of experience with Royal Oak Schools from their date of hire, not necessarily the years of experience they bring to us. Early in my career, and I think Mr. Walensky would support this, many of our brand new teachers came right out of college. Now they're coming to us from other districts, working closer to their homes, being closer to their own children, seeking different opportunities in teaching and learning that our district might offer that their current district does not, and vice versa. So we have been hiring all year, and that's a big task. Our smallest population would be those that are in 16 to 20 years. I'm one of those post 35 years in my public school career, also a small group for us. But this just changes how we offer professional development, and it also changes the needs of our teachers. And then finally, in human resources, it has been a continuous hiring process all year. So we do see people leaving mid-year. We see people making decisions close to the start of school and others that give us months and months of advance notice. But our HR department and all of the folks working there work very hard to keep that up. We are developing, this is new under the strategic plan, developing an employee assistance program. We want to enhance our mentor-mentee program and maintain open communication and healthy relationships with all of our work groups. Our teachers union is represented tonight and the president here, so thank you, Marianne, for being here. We do know that we're very fortunate to have groups that keep the dialogue open and continuous all year so that we're supporting all of our groups. We continue our professional development, which again is a huge investment, and we want to make sure that we're recruiting the very best for Royal Oak Schools. So it's very important to us that our communities stay engaged with the district. So the long-range plan that I gave an overview of tonight, again, the one-pager will be available on the website, and is available at the back of the room, but the detail will also be there. It's very important to me and to our Board of Education that we do regular updates. This is a living document. We can make a plan today, the world could shift in December, and we have to do something different, and so our strategic plan will. But our dedication to the students and their achievement will not change. So staying engaged with our district through any one of our social media platforms is very important to us. We have a new Royal Oak Schools app that was developed and launched this year. So everyone does everything on an app. It's easy to find so much information for the district. So if you have not downloaded that, you can find it at any one of the app stores. We also are using a new tool for many groups, but for some just expanding, and that is Remind. It's a way to text large groups a key message. So often people are waiting about a snow day, and I know that. We'll still continue to pass along key information through all the regular means of communication, email, texting, phone call messages out, our website. But Remind will be a quick and easy way for our teachers to reach groups of students, our coaches to reach those on their teams, and for me to reach our staff on a regular basis. We also have a monthly staff newsletter. Many of our publications have won awards in the PR groups across our state and our country, so I'm very proud of that. So make sure that our staff members stay engaged. We wanted to make sure there was a newsletter that we created just for them. Our monthly newsletter from the district is the Dispatch. If you do not subscribe to this, please do. We want to make sure that everyone stays engaged. We highlight staff members, we highlight key initiatives, and we also talk about key students and their accomplishments within the district as well. And we want to make sure you stay engaged there. And then to continue our connections with the community, we are in 2 different publications in the city of Royal Oak, and those magazines go to the porches of every resident in the city. So we want to make sure that the news from the school district also hits those that do not have children in our schools but are within our community. And that is the vast majority of residents of Royal Oak who do not have kids in our community schools, but we want to make sure they're engaged with us. So please stay engaged with us. And then finally, just our expectations moving forward. We will give regular updates to the strategic plan throughout the school year at our board meetings, at our staff meetings, as well as within those publications that I've talked about. Our strategic plan will be posted to our district webpage, which is also new, was new last year, and so that also is something that is very important to us, that it's up to date and that people use it often, and that glossary of terms that we spoke of that definitely would be coming out. So I hope that tonight you've learned a little bit more about our district, that it's clear what we are aiming to do every single day in the classrooms and across our schools. And again, that we're a vital part of this Royal Oak Schools community. And I thank you for being here tonight, and those watching at home for your support of our wonderful school district. Thank you.